Hi all, Nick here, 9 Acre Overland. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Today, we're going to work on getting this eco-worthy 100-watt solar panel mounted into our roof basket on top of Rojo. Let's get started. Thanks for sticking around. So we're going to start by removing or unboxing the solar panel. Ooh, that's good foam. Probably use some of this when mounting my batteries into my platform for a little bit of shock absorption. It's always good to try and find new uses for stuff that you would normally throw away. So I got this 100-watt solar panel off Amazon. Shoot, for I think it was about 50 or 60 bucks. It's a 100-watt 18-volt panel. My controller will take anywhere between 12 and 24 volts. So it should work. The particular one I got, because you can get them without it, actually has mounting brackets attached to the back of the panel for easier mounting. You can see those here. There's 4 of them. So basically, you just loosen them, you slide them out, and then they've got little pockets to slide over whatever you're attaching it to. We're going to use some aluminum angle stock that I have laying around. So the opening in the roof basket, the top between the 2 top rails, front to back, and the 2 top rails side to side, is 38.5 inches long by 34.5 inches wide. That's inside edge to inside edge. The panel is 23 inches wide and 35.25 inches long. It's going to be mounted offset to the driver's side, leaving roughly 10 inches, 11 inches, 12 inches on the passenger side where I'll probably mount my high lift jack. So obviously, if you've been watching the channel, Rojo is being built for off-roading and overlanding. There can often be times of extreme vibration, jolts, bumps, dips, etc. So the plan for this panel is to do a couple things here. One, it's to mount it in the top of the roof basket, basically between the front and the rear rails, almost like level. That should deflect wind and any debris that comes from the front over the panel and protect the surface. I also plan to isolate the aluminum stock that this will be mounted to from the basket, and then to isolate the panel from the stock, hoping that will reduce the vibration as much as feasible and extend the longevity of this panel. This will both be a test of my design skills and the durability of this pretty inexpensive 100-watt solar panel from the old Amazon. So I'm not entirely too sure how easy it is to see here in the video, but I've got 3 pieces of aluminum angle stock in front of me. I have 1 inch by 1/8 inch, 1 1/4 inch by 1/8 inch, and 2 inch by 1/8 inch. I think the 2 inches is going to be too big. So it's either going to be the 1 inch or the 1 1/4 inch. Put this one away. Kind of like the 1 inch for it. Ideally, what I'll do is I'll cut it to length to the outside distance of the roof basket of the 2 upper rails, and then contour the ends so that it sits like this, but down in between the upper and lower rails. Alright, so the dimensions to the outside edges of the front and rear bar are 40.5 inches. Go ahead and mark that on our stock so we know where to cut. What we're going to do here, we're going to use, or try to use anyways, 1.5 inch, 1.8 hole saw to notch one end of the aluminum angle stock here, and then we'll measure to see where we need to put the second notch so that it fits down into the basket. Right? Look at this. It's just one side, other side. Rotate it so it's straight. All filed up and smooth. Keystone, so smooth. All right, we'll go ahead and get these marked. So I'm going to drill pilot holes in the aluminum. All right, so the panel came with these self-tappers, which we're going to use to attach this aluminum to the basket, but I'll find something different for attaching the panel to the aluminum. So this is what we're going to drill our pilot holes through the aluminum for. Quick test fit, make sure the hole's big enough. Perfect. Man, I tell you what, if you've never used these or you don't have any, you're missing out. I can't tell you how many projects I've used these clamps of different sizes, and it helps make things, you know, instead of a 2-person job, a 1-person job. Second set of hands, these guys. Lined up with my pilot pole. This one might be. Alright, so even though the cables are going to enter through the hatch, the back, I'm going to position the plugs with this forward, which, granted, these are supposed to be watertight, but there's a little less chance of moisture getting forced into the wires in the junction box. Good morning. Another beautiful day here in Central Ohio. Sun's out. A little bit of welcomed rain late yesterday. I'm calling for more today afternoon to try to get a little videoing done before that happens. So, where do we leave off? We got our 1" by 1/8" aluminum angle stock cut, shaped to fit within the roof basket. We got our pilot holes drilled in the roof basket. We got our through holes drilled through the aluminum. We're going to make those actually a little bit bigger. We're using 8 of the rubber washers that came with the solar panel as isolators to isolate the aluminum from the basket. That's about where we stand right now. We got our holes marked on the aluminum for the panel. Now, the panel has 8 holes for mounting. I'm just going to use 4, 1 in each, with a vibration dampening material in between the aluminum and the panel brackets. One of the reasons I'm going to stick with 1 in each, well, one of the reasons is because Home Depot only had 4 bolts. The other reason is I want there to be a little bit of flexibility, not necessarily in the panel, but I'd rather it not be so rigid to the aluminum, to the basket, that if there's too much flex, and I can't imagine there should be, that the flex in the basket translates through the aluminum into the panel, cause problems. So I'm thinking just 1 bolt in each of the mounting holes should suffice, and we'll give that a shot. Alright, let's go ahead and get these off, get them down to the table, and I'll see you back over there. Alright, so now we got our support rails off. We're going to go ahead and drill these out. Like I mentioned, I think I did a 7/64 before. We're going to go ahead and step it up to a 1/4 inch. And I'll just give a little bit more room between the self-tappers and the edges of the aluminum. So, I don't know, 1/64 of an inch, not a huge difference, but just gives a little more wiggle room. We're going to go ahead and drill out the holes for mounting the panel to our rails. I think the easiest way to do this is to go ahead, like I have here, this piece of 3/4 inch particle board set up on some 2x4s, and then I've got it clamped over the edge, which allows for a nice secure square fitting so it doesn't move around a lot when we're trying to drill these out. I'm also going to use a 1/4 inch bit for the 4 holes. You put a piece of wood down and do it like this, just make sure it's something you don't have a problem drilling into. Go ahead and test fit some of these. Make sure I actually have enough room between the holes and the edge of the inside edge of the aluminum. Should, just as verification. If you don't, I'm going to have to make the holes a little bit bigger, which is also fine. I think I will make them just a little bit bigger. Quarter, we'll go ahead and step up to 5/16. Probably won't have to actually clamp these down to get these out. Dampening material I'm going to be putting between the brackets of the solar panel and the aluminum cross members. I got off the old Amazon. Put a link for it in the description. 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, I think it was, I don't know, $10, $12 maybe. And it's 8 by 8, 8 by 8, 1/8 inch sheets of a sticky backed rubber neoprene. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it to the width of the bottom of the brackets, and I'm going to stack them 2 to 3 high to get, 1/4 inch to 3/16 of an inch of material between the panel and the cross members. Just going to go ahead and center them on the brackets. There'll be a little bit of overhang on either side. Or actually, we'll line up with the outside edge of the bracket. Leave the overhang towards the middle. I get these on here, I'll bring you in close for a nice look. There you go. Nice little buffer there. Should work nicely. Get the panel flipped over. Go ahead and punch a hole through the neoprene. There's trash thrown away. Scraps back over here in the bag with the other ones. The rest of it I still have. Let's see here. That looks like I may actually have to drill these holes out a little bit. Here we go. So the nuts and bolts I picked up, like I said, they're 1/4-20s, and I picked up flange 1/4-20s. So what I want to do, Nylox actually might have been a better nut choice, but I'm going to go ahead and use these. We're going to start with these, see how they work out. We use a little blue Loctite. But what I want to do is I just want to snug them up. I don't want to crank them down and crush the neoprene. So let's give it a shot, see how it works. What's kind of nice here is that the neoprene will actually hold the bolts in place. Get everything situated. Brackets attached. Neoprene in there. Alright, so this is all set to go back up on the roof. I'm going to put it up there just for a minute, just to check fitment. Make sure my cross member supporting brackets holes still line up with the roof basket. Alright, so today, hopefully we're going to be getting the solar panel mounted. Got the platform back in. I've got 2 batteries hooked up. Instead of using the rubber washers like I originally said, I'm going to go ahead and use the leftover pieces of neoprene foam. The same material I used between the aluminum cross members and the panel itself. Pretty exciting, really. It's one more thing on Rojo and one more thing out of the garage. Just as I did with the mounting brackets, as soon as all these are applied, I'm going to flip it over. Go ahead and punch a quick hole through the neoprene. I'm also going to go ahead and trim these down to match the width of the inside of the aluminum angle stock. My knife. Previously noted, we're going to use the self-tappers that came with the panel. However, I'm also going to add one of these metal covered rubber washers. Just like that. Oh, so that one we got junction box to the front. Up, get one started, put the back, that one started, careful that fold over, hold that. Started and
on there. That's nice and solid.
Also, finishing up on the solar panel install. Got the panel up on the roof, get the wires ran the wires back through where the hatch comes up, sliced into one of the little rubber boots up here up top. Had to remove this panel, loosen this panel, remove this panel. Once I did that, I was able to feed the wires down through here and then out from underneath this corner panel here. Now what I did there, because those wires are pretty stiff, is I picked up a couple of these from Amazon. I spliced that one end onto the wires coming from the solar panel and the other end going into the solar charge controller. So, in keeping with the platform being removable, that allows me to plug and unplug the platform when either putting it in or removing it. Okay.